Buried within the uncharted depths of waters surrounding a group of islands off the 50th parallel lies man's most formidable challenge. The awesome awakening of prehistoric monsters long thought extinct. Science was baffled and powerless. A terror-stricken humanity knew that it was on the brink of total destruction. The once proud civilization now had to place its trust and hope in Godzilla and his powerful ally, Robot Man. In concert, they would fight this evil in a duel to the death. Battling by day, battling by night, it was more than a race against time. This war was an all-out effort whose ultimate purpose was to save our planet from total destruction. Now came the moment of truth. The ultimate battle. Titan against Titan, giant against giant in the most spectacular battle yet. You'll see it all in Godzilla versus Megalon.
Something beyond comprehension is happening to a little girl on this street, in this house. A man has been sent for, as a last resort, to try and save her.
Somewhere between science and superstition, there is another world. The world of darkness. Nobody expected it.
All right, let's see what the...
Nobody believed it. And nothing could stop it.
There are no experts. You probably know as much about possession as most priests. Look, your daughter doesn't say she's a demon. She says she's the devil himself.
I'm telling you that that thing upstairs isn't my daughter. Now, I want you to tell me that you know for a fact that there's nothing wrong with my daughter except in her mind. You tell me you know for a fact that an exorcism wouldn't do any good. You tell me that!
The one hope, the only hope, The Exorcist.
MGM presents Westworld.
Your attention, please. We will soon be landing at Westworld, the ultimate resort.
We have you on grid 5, over.
It consists of 3 worlds of the past.
Locking in now.
Worlds where you can live out your every fantasy. There's Roman world, the lusty, decadent delights of imperial Pompeii.
Notify ground crews.
Medieval world, chivalry and combat in 13th century Europe. And Westworld, lawless violence on the American frontier of the 1880s.
Bacon, cinnamon toast.
Each resort is maintained by reliable computer technology and peopled by lifelike robot men and women.
Let's stand by for resort activation. Ready on 6, on 5, on 4, on 3, on 2. Activate now.
Our robots are programmed to provide you with an unforgettable vacation.
Dinner at 7, breakfast at 6:30. Get lunch on your own. Don't look like much here, but we have everything.
You mean to tell me he's a robot?
What'll it be?
Vodka martini on the rocks with a twist of lemon. Very dry, please.
Just give him whiskey. He's new in town.
Many elements of the Delos Resort are potentially dangerous. That's part of the appeal.
Go on.
You say something, boy.
Kill him.
Your move.
Our technology is designed to provide all this in complete safety. In Westworld, frustrations find release. Desire ends in satisfaction.
Let me handle it.
And all in a controlled environment.
That's not supposed to happen.
We know you'll enjoy your stay in Westworld,
Hold it.
the ultimate resort,
Let me do it this time.
where nothing can possibly go wrong.
I'm shot.
Go wrong.
Raw.
Go
Oh,
wrong.
my God.
Shut down. Shut down immediately.
Westworld from MGM, starring Yul Brynner, Richard Benjamin, and James Brolin. Westworld, the ultimate resort. Boy, do we have a vacation for you, for you, for you, for you.
She was laughing. Yes, my sister's psychic. She wants you to know. I've seen her. And she wants you to know that she's happy. Christine.
John, do you hear what I say? It was Christine.
My daughter is dead, Laura. She does not come peeping with messages back from behind the grave.
Yes.
Christine is dead.
Yes.
She is dead.
Yes.
Dead, 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 dead.
What is it, Mr. Baxter? What is it you fear?
My wife was warned that I was in danger.
Please, fetch him back. Let him not go. Fetch him. Fetch him. Fetch him, woman. Fetch him.
I hope it's not another murder. I will pray for you.
I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood.
I am here to investigate the disappearance of a young girl. Where is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison existed, we would know.
I suspect murder.
Sergeant, I've already told...
In the name of God, woman, what kind of mother are you? That can stand by and see your own child slaughtered.
You are the fool, Mr. Harry.
You're liars. You are despicable little liars.
Can't be that mad.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
If Rowan Morrison existed, we would know.
I suspect murder.
She was back. You are the fool, Mr. Harry.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
Oh my God!
Is the secret of Soylent Green. New York City, in the year 2022. Nothing runs anymore. Nothing works. But the people are the same. And the people will do anything to get what they need.
This is the police.
What they need most is Soylent Green.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? Detective Sergeant Thorne. He has a 2-year backlog of unsolved murders. Now he's on a case that must be solved. Saul Roth, Thorne's private library.
Hey, Saul.
A living book in a world without books.
Have some pencils. Courtesy of your next assignment. William R. Simonson.
Simonson. He was the first to learn the secret of Soylent Green.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Saul Roth was the next to know.
How do we come to this?
And he chose to die rather than reveal the secret of Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Why did you set up Simonson?
I didn't. Cheryl.
See your hands.
Officially, she's furniture. She comes with the apartment. She belongs to the tenant.
How many times you been in trouble with the police, Cheryl?
Never.
Can't hear you.
Never.
Captain Hatcher. First, he wanted this case solved.
Simonson. What do you say?
It was an assassination.
Now, he just wants it closed.
Who bought you? High and hot, and they want this case closed permanently. Their way. Now, you sign this.
You sign it!
Thorne refuses to close the Simonson case.
Just do what you have to do. Where did you go with Simonson?
He took me to church.
Church?
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 months since my last confession.
Charles Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Chuck Connors, Lee Taylor Young, Brock Peters, Paula Kelly, and Joseph Cotton fight for survival and try to solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind. The search for the secret of Soylent Green. You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We've got to stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Please!
New York City, 50 years from today. Nothing runs, nothing works.
They gave me a quarter of a kilo.
But people are the same, and people will do anything to get what they need. What they need most is Soylent Green. Simonson, board of directors of the Soylent Corporation, murdered because he discovered the secret of Soylent Green. Detective Thorne, he's got to find out what Simonson knew. Saul Roth, Thorne's researcher.
Courtesy of your next assignment, William R. Simonson, Chelsea Towers West.
When how'd you get all these?
Cheryl, the furniture.
Is that Simonson? Is that a yes nod or a no nod?
Yes.
Hatcher, police captain.
Simonson. Supposed to look like he was killed when he caught some punk burglarizing his apartment.
Well, what do you say?
It was an assassination.
Tab Fielding, bodyguard.
Why would you leave that door open?
Why did you set up Simonson? Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Lee Taylor Young, Chuck Connors. Fight for survival and solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind.
This is the police. I'm asking you to disperse. The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted.
Why does Soylent Green mean life?
You must disperse. The scoops are on their way.
Why does Soylent Green mean death?
We want guns.
Now, the final chapter in the incredible Ape Saga.
There it is, or was. This is the hell my forefathers used to speak about.
This background radiation alone will give us 300 Röntgens an hour.
The battlefield, a dead city 12 years after the ultimate bomb has been dropped. The prize, the right to inherit what's left of the Earth. The contestants, ape against man. The most unbelievable showdown ever filmed. As the mutants, strange, transformed men who live underground like moles, battle the apes to decide who will be master and who will be slave.
They're getting away. Kill them.
Murdered my son.
We will smash the human, and then we will smash Caesar.
I don't want to have to remember my husband. I want to love him now.
But we who survive create a new race.
In the aftermath of his victory, the surface of the world was ravaged by the vilest war in human history.
Climaxing the epic series which made motion picture history comes the last, the most spectacular of all the ape adventures. Out of the Forbidden City they roared, to settle once and for all who had the right to rule the planet, ape or man.
See the sorcerer of the black arts, the gold helmet faceless vizier, the death fight of the centaur on the griffin, the six-armed goddess of evil. The flying homunculus. The savage siren on a rampage. The duel with the vanishing sorcerer. The one-eyed centaur. The oracle of all knowledge. The fountain of destiny.
We never thought it would happen.
Nobody gets in or out of that town now, is that clear?
The girl just died. How do you intend to let the people know about all this? We were asleep. They dragged us right out of the house.
Are we under martial law? Don't talk to me or anybody else unless you got a voice print check.
All hell's broke loose in town. Nobody knows what's going on.
Now look, you just can't push us around this way. We've got to get a nuclear weapon in the air above that town.
Hey, what the hell's going on, Sheriff?
You know what I do, boy. Let's go.
They taking me no place.
Man, this isn't easy.
They started something they can't stop. The crazies.
There's
Something that dements. Something that inflames. Something that brutalizes. It's madness unleashed by human error. The crazies. Can they tame it before time runs out?
I'm a key man on the Christmas team. A key man. I'm one of the developers of the goddamn thing.
Now, if you want me to get the job done, you get me the stuff I need, and you get the hell in there before the morning's over.
A small town becomes a giant stockade. Evans City must be contained or leveled.
We're all concerned with Evans City, Mr. Hawks.
If we have to push the button, we just say the weapon went off.
Get me the president.
3,614 people are trapped by an unknown enemy. 5 are on the run. Can they escape the spreading fury of the crazies?
We can make it. I know it.
Stop it! They're coming, David! David, they're coming.
Move. We gotta get out of here.
Jesus, man.
And I want a weapon search of the entire town. Watch it, Bucky! This is exactly the kind of thing we're trying to prevent.
A lethal terror snowballs into hell.
In there.
Madness runs rampant.
We'll dope it out. Sooner or later. Sooner or later.
The crazies.
It's happening right now in London. New York could be next. Or Paris, or Rome, or Tokyo. It's happening right now to this girl. Perhaps it's your turn next.
We are not dealing with ordinary criminals. The real force is more sinister, more obscene than any monstrosity you can think of. Lord of corruption, master of the undead. Count Dracula.
Nothing is too vile. Nothing is too dreadful. You need to know the terror, the horror.
Is that what you want, Count Dracula? A last blaze of utter horror and violence? Ghastly annihilation of an entire planet? Is this your own death wish?
I call upon you to witness my supreme triumph.
Count Dracula! Dracula! Dracula!
Revenge has spread over centuries and has just begun!
They're dead. But they're alive. As religious rites become obscene orgies. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing together in Count Dracula and his vampire bride. The king of the undead marries the queen of the zombies.
On this, the eve of the undead, I call upon you to witness my supreme triumph. Van Helsing, the body of your granddaughter will never be corrupted.
And the devil himself is exorcised.
My revenge has spread over centuries and has just begun!
Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, the ultimate is revealed as the two masters of menace grapple for the souls of the living and the dead. Count Dracula and his vampire bride.
What in the name of God? What did he do to make this house so evil?
Murder, vampirism, cannibalism, drug addiction, alcoholism, sadism, mutilation.
How did it end?
If it had ended, we would not be here.
Billy's inside me. Even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel him just waiting in there to take over.
The house tried to kill me. It almost succeeded. I don't accept this. I do not accept this.
Naked, drunk, fighting. Oh, please get me out of here. Please.
Florence.
This is where the temptations begin. Unlimited temptations.
Can I help you at all?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 25 quid to get rid of it.
It's a deal.
Each concealing a horrendous nightmare that reaches out from the dark world that lies beyond the grave.
Come in. Whoever you are, come in.
If you are looking for excitement, way beyond the normal. No. If you want to test your nerves beyond endurance, come beyond the mirror on the wall. Step beyond this door to the room of no return. Experience the evil with no name. Steel yourself for the visitor in the night. Every step you take brings you nearer the clutching terror from beyond the grave.
quick stab. Just orderly.
We've got him! Where the white worms crawl from the sinner's grave, leave us forever away!
Denied me life.
Susan!
Ghostly, kept alive by the life essences of those who had been sacrificed to it.
Bernhard, what the hell do you want here?
He must be drunk. Quite insane.
Oh, my God.
In the midst of life, we are in death.
Sorry to have missed the meeting, but my heart is with you.
Can't believe it. His head cut off.
Oh, impossible.
Good day, Mr. Devlin.
Come, fire! Consume this happy world, and in its ashes, let my memory lie.
They were just ordinary troublemakers as long as they lived. But they returned from beyond the grave with superhuman powers, unleashing an unholy reign of terror that holds an entire community in the grip of psychomania. Psychomania.
Everybody dies, don't they? But some come back. How do the dead come back, Mother?
When you die, you've got to believe that you're going to come back.
Tom, you'll kill yourself!
That's right! Off the bridge! I'm going!
You can only die once. After that, nothing and nobody can harm you.
Oh, man, what are you waiting for?
I must stop him.
You can't.
I must.
Psychomania.
What happened? You're not dead.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Tom. I don't want to die.
Get after them!
And you know what you will become?
Yes.
And that it will be for all eternity.
You can only die once. After that, nothing and nobody can harm you.
Psychomania.
Excuse me, Mr. Allen? Is that your new movie you're working on?
This, no. I'm a clarinet player in 1973. I go into the hospital for a lousy operation. I wake up 200 years later, and I'm Flash Gordon.
What's the name of the film?
The name of the film is Sleeper. Basically, it's an intellectual film. Most of the scenes in it are of a cerebral, almost didactic nature, and there's very little overt comedy in the film.
What type of role do you play?
I play a generally calm, subdued, in control leading man. It's a dignified role.
You're the alien!
You won't give me away, will you? You're a nice person. I knew I could count on you.
What's Sleeper about?
Sleeper's a highly charged, emotional love story that's tender and romantic.
Try not to get upset.
That is between myself and Diane Keaton.
I'm Luna. Luna, remember? Luna.
Your name is not Luna, is it? I chose Diane because she's a very beautiful actress. I wanted to make use of the natural qualities in her face. She's kind of graceful, and there's a certain animal intelligence about her that we utilize throughout the film.
It's hard to believe that you haven't had sex for 200 years.
204 if you count my marriage. There's no violence in the film at all. It's a quiet, easy piece of family entertainment.
Will there be a special price for children?
No, but anyone accompanied by an incoherent person gets in for half price.
Woody Allen and Diane Keaton in Sleeper, a love story about two people who hate each other 200 years in the future.
Now, from Cabo Ponte, the man who brought you Dr. Zhivago, comes a totally new motion picture experience. A journey into the bizarre, terrifying world of the psychosexual mind. Torso. It saturates the screen with terror.
I've called you here today for a good reason. What you have here are fragments of cloth.
Is one of these students a psychosexual killer?
Barbarously murdered just 1 week ago.
Or are they just playing erotic games? Not so innocent erotic games. Eager to test the limits of pleasure. A killer is stalking.
Well, that's a real good start. Why do all hang-ups come my way? Honey, even if you're queer or impotent, you're paying the price I charge just the same.
A psychosexual killer is stalking.
guy was spying on us.
Sean wouldn't care if he was. Come back, Sean.
A killer who takes his pleasure differently. Torso. It saturates the screen with terror. Torso, a gripping motion picture about a killer's perverted hunger aroused to an animal frenzy. Torso. It saturates the screen with terror.
Don't look in the basement. The makers of Last House on the Left warn you again. To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie. The line between sanity and madness can be crossed in a single step. And with this step, you enter the nightmare world of terror. On the day the insane took over the asylum, Judge Kamen, whose iron self-control hides the urge to kill. Harriet, a mother's love, twisted into the malignant shape of evil. The sergeant, living in the hell of an aimless war, fighting a battle within himself that he lost long ago. Allison, in a desperate need for love, an obsession that could drive her to murder. Danny, whose sense of humor triggers a violent act of revenge. Dr. Masters, who has her own idea of the gentle art of healing. And Charlotte, who left the world of sanity and security, only to be trapped in the nightmare world of madness, a nightmare she cannot escape. They all met on the day the insane took over the asylum. Don't look in the basement. From Hallmark Releasing Corporation, rated R. Enter death's waiting room, if you dare. Below the crypt lies the vault of horror, a treasure chest of the macabre. Madness, voodoo, vampires, torture, and terror. All the things that make life worth leaving.
That's how it is. And how it always will be.
The Vault of Horror.
Who dares touch these rotting bones? Who dares call forth the most horrible specter of the damned? Now he's back. The Black Prince of Darkness, Blackula, recalled by the awesome powers of voodoo to stalk the earth in a new quest for blood. Blackula, Dracula's soul brother, seething with hate, obsessed with vengeance, craving young bodies, lusting for hot blood to create new victims for the legions of the undead.
And with evil vampires. Good. That gives you something of an edge over the rest.
William Marshall, again, as the Lord of the Vampires, in a relentless search for Pam Grier, the exciting star of Coffee.
I need you!
Now he is back. Ever more evil, ever more fearful than ever before. Scream, Blackula, scream. The bloodiest legend of our time.
Andy Warhol's Frankenstein is here.
Kiss him! Kiss him!
Newsweek magazine calls it the first original Frankenstein in years. A perversely fascinating movie.
Only close. Oh! Not so close! I can't... Stop it! What are you doing? I can't breathe! Stop it! Stop it!
Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, with its swooping bats, severed limbs, hideous decapitating devices, and various spare parts. They all slither off the screen in what Playboy magazine calls the most gruesome epic ever unleashed. Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, the goriest, sexiest, and wildest Frankenstein ever filmed.
Terror once again treks its legendary course, making your flesh creep with pleasure. Night, when the unliving rise again from their graves, you will tremble with the return of the evil dead. Their hell-born revenge, for which there is no assurance of protection, nor will you escape. The fear, the anxiety which the return of the evil dead provokes. A new high in excitement. Help me! The return of the evil dead. The Return of the Evil Dead, with Tony Kendall and Fernando Sancho, the terrifying thriller of the year. Do not attend this film alone. We suggest you bring at least one large partner to hold you tightly. The lifeless horsemen will make this theater into a living horror. The Return of the Evil Dead. The Return of the Evil Dead. You sure you're in fit condition. And don't scream.
And they're waiting. They're waiting for you. And they'll take you one by one, and no one will hear you scream. No one will hear you scream!
Legend, Father Robertson, says that when a McGrief murders a blood relation, the latter does not die but turns into a vampire.
I'll give you all my money. I'll give you everything I have.
The sea, the last frontier on Earth. A vast, uncharted world in itself. It is awesomely beautiful. And beautifully awesome. In this environment, man is an intruder. Here he survives from second to second. Here he lives on the brink of eternity.
Ocean Lab, this is Triton. Do you hear me?
Mayday, mayday. Halifax, this is Triton. We have a team of this earthquake and have lost contact with sea life. We must have submersible rescue craft. Latitude 35 degrees contact with sea life. Tidal wave affirmative. Hygrometer negative. Area of seamount unstable.
An earth-splitting volcanic eruption hurls 3 aquanauts into the deepest canyon in the sea and begins a deadly race against time to save their lives. A race that will be decided by the Neptune factor.
Low generator.
The Neptune.
Low generator check.
The most advanced underwater vessel ever built.
Full thruster.
The man who commands it designed it.
350 meters. Surveying slope.
He knows the Neptune is being asked to do the impossible.
Neptune has had a complete overhaul but hasn't had a sea trial yet.
Commander,
The volunteer.
your submersible can cruise into areas that sub could never go.
Somewhere thousands of feet below, the man she loves is trapped.
3-second pulse.
And time is running out.
I'm sure it's the pinger.
The scientist.
Our problem.
He knows how hopeless this search is.
There are 3 men down there who may still be alive.
The aquanaut. He's learned to live underwater. When the time comes,
This piece is definitely off the Ocean Lab.
he may be asked to die to prove it.
Let's go the limit.
The Neptune is going where no man has ever gone before and live to tell about it.
Cabin pressure's okay. Full thruster. Full thruster.
Down.
Main power port. Main power starboard.
Into the mouth of a vast undersea volcano. Down. Into a fantastic world of gigantic carnivorous creatures.
Don't move. Stay away from that port.
He's coming at us again.
Hold on.
Down.
Let's get over here. Matt, emergency power.
Into a world where danger and death are a way of life.
Watch it, we're gonna hit.
Ben Gazzara, Yvette Mimieux, Walter Pigeon, and Ernest Borgnine challenge the fury of the mightiest element on Earth.
We're going over!
In a place where man is the smallest living thing.
You know what the pressure is at this depth? And you know what could have happened if we'd gone deeper? We would have been crushed. Like an egg.
Wherever you've been, this is where you've never been before.
The current. Full thruster.
The Neptune Factor, the most fantastic undersea odyssey ever filmed.
There wasn't enough room in Toyland to escape the terror that rocked Baby's cradle.
I notice you call him Baby, and the case history doesn't show any other name. What is his real name?
Just Baby.
To Baby, life was not a giant playpen. It was a living hell. He wasn't allowed to walk, he wasn't allowed to talk, but he was capable of it. Baby is a full-grown man trapped by 3 women with no way out.
Mama.
Damn you.
Baby doesn't walk. Baby doesn't talk. Baby doesn't stand. Baby doesn't walk. Baby doesn't talk to strangers. We should have let them take him.
Alma, you're not talking about that circus.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to put him in a sideshow. We should have said yes.
You're calling your brother a freak.
Oh, Mama. I just thought it'd be better that way.
3, 4. Close the door.
I just wanted to face you one more time to tell you that you're sick. You're the one who needs help, not Baby.
That's just so much horse. You want him for yourself. Well, agency or no agency, you ain't gonna get him. Because Baby belongs to us. No, to me.
He belongs to himself. He's not the subhuman thing you've made him.
What have you done to my baby? What do you want my baby? What do you want him? No, what's going to happen to my baby? What's going to happen to him?
The Baby, a Scotia International release, starring Anjanette Comer, Ruth Roman, Mariana Hill, Suzanne Zenor, and David Manzi as Baby. Rated PG.
This is Alan. He's such a dear boy. Oh, this is Jeffy. He's so full of fun. Oh, this is Anya. Isn't she just the sweetest thing? And this is their new friend, Smedley. They're giving him a party. It's his coming out party. Oh, the children are having such fun. They're laughing and laughing. And it all began here, one foggy winter's evening.
1971. Oh. He ought to be ripe. It's party time. It's the shank of the evening. My friend Orville and I are having cocktails in 10 minutes at my island cottage.
Alan, you're not really going to take that thing back to the cottage.
I, Alan, take this body.
Yeah, and welcome to it. You deserve everything you're getting.
There's no business like show business like...
And I think, in time, we may get even closer.
I'm going to take your scraps and feed them to my dog. Well, that's all right. Just keep a stiff upper lip.
Oh, yes, they had such a wonderful time. They laughed and laughed and laughed. That is, until Orville's friends dropped in. Then they screamed and screamed and screamed. The children had such a lovely time. It's too bad nobody ever told them. Children shouldn't play with dead things.
Man is an inquisitive creature, prodding and prying at every secret nature has hidden from him, probing deep into the mind, scavenging for the secrets of the past, horrifying secrets best left buried forever.
You are looking at the very essence of evil itself.
The undisputed masters of the macabre.
It would appear that your research is following similar lines to my own.
Half-brothers, creating whole new heights in undiluted, flesh-creeping horror.
What are those black cells? How do you isolate them? And what association do they have with insanity? You'll have to tell me, you know. You would be utterly ruined professionally if it were learnt that you had experimented on your own family.
This is your mother's room.
Why didn't you tell me about it? Why? You said she was dead.
Stop the keys, go back to your cell!
The subnormal, the supernatural, and the supreme evil. All of these come together to form the creeping flesh.
Once this motion picture sinks its fangs into you, you'll never be the same. Don't say it. Hiss it. Don't say it. Hiss it. Don't say it. Hiss it.
What the hell are you doing here? Get out! Get out! Get out!
Doctor, what is this? I feel like my guts are being rearranged.
Touch your skin. It's scaled. Look for your legs. They're gone. Feel your body. It's cold. And listen for the hissing.
I love you.
Your face.
What about it?
It looks different.
He doesn't want to see you.
You're hiding something from me. I know it.
King Cobra versus Mongoose. Or is it man versus man? The most unusual horror film ever made. See it.
What strange erotic force was taking hold of the women of Peckham, California? What orgasmic ritual unlocked the hidden sexual appetites of these women? What changed them from everyday housewives into ravishingly beautiful women? What bizarre secrets threatened every man in town? The invasion of the B-Girl.
However, there are 3 points of uniformity I would like to bring out. 1, all the victims have been men. They've all died apparently, and I'd like to stress the word apparently, by overexhaustion in the act of sexual intercourse.
Total sexual abstinence.
Well, let me tell you something. Me, for one, ain't gonna give up a little pleasure I get from screwing my old lady, or anybody else for that matter.
Abstinence isn't gonna be anything new around here.
Well, if I were positive it was going to kill you, I'd do it.
The United States government sent their top investigator to Peckham to try and stop this sex-driven epidemic.
But you were the last person to see him alive on the night he was murdered.
All right. You might as well know. We bawled, and we bawled, and we bawled, till he dropped dead.
You can see some of that? That's pretty good. Oh, no, you can't help!
The invasion of the B-Girl. Is there a man in your town who can satisfy the B-Girl? Rated R from Sequoia Pictures.
It all began with a curse. A curse from the grave.
The evil you did this day will be avenged.
A curse of the dead hand. The dead hand that crawls, creeps, and kills. The dead hand that lives. And now the screaming starts. For them and for you.
On the dawn of man comes Slug. A beast from 20 million years ago stalks the streets of today. A love stranger than King Kong. A monster more powerful than Godzilla. See a small California town. Learn the true meaning of terror.
Call out the National Guard. This is going to be the best, Santa.
See the police and National Guard powerless before the awesome creature.
Hold it, hold it. Can't you wait that stuff, Mindy?
Why not? Can nothing stop it? Can anything stop it? Arnie, will you please stop it?
This thing has been frozen in ice for 20 million years.
So I figure it must be lonely.
First, Birth of a Nation. Then, Gone with the Wind. 2001, A Space Odyssey. Love Story. See you next Wednesday. And now, Schlock. There is no place to hide. No one is safe from Schlock. 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 Schlock.
Boy Who Cried Werewolf. A figment of a boy's imagination, or true?
Here's the rest of it.
Something must have come down out of the hills. Puma, bear, wolves maybe.
It's true. Every word.
Once upon a time, there was a little country town where folks had a very strange diet. Strangers who stopped for lunch ended up staying for dinner.
Wilson, I just had them. Yes! This just came in this morning.
Is it really fresh?
Mrs. Wilson, if it was any fresher, it would get up and tell you itself.
American International Pictures presents Cannibal Girls.
When the morning wakens.
They're young, beautiful, and very, very sexy. They love every man they meet. First to death, then for dinner.
What will you have for dinner, my lovelies? What will you have?
In case you hadn't noticed, I decided to stay.
No.
Yes, it's rather nice to have a man around the house.
In order not to offend or horrify those in the audience of a squeamish or prudish disposition, the sound of a bell in the theater will warn you when to close your eyes or turn away so that you may avoid witnessing certain scenes of an especially erotic or gruesome nature.
All we ever do around here is cook and eat. Food can be a marvelous appetizer.
I'm looking forward to the main course myself.
Cannibal Girls. Remember, in order not to offend or horrify those in the audience of a squeamish or prudish disposition, the sound of a bell in the theater will warn you when to close your eyes or turn away so that you may avoid witnessing certain scenes of an especially erotic or gruesome nature.
A breakthrough has been made in biochemistry, whose impact upon the future of mankind is so massive that it might be compared to the first nuclear explosion in Alamogordo, New Mexico in 1945. The discovery of DNA and RNA. Science has now isolated the chemical essence of life itself. The new branch of science is called genetic engineering. We now know how to determine the genetic code of any living cell, of any living tissue, of any living animal. We can now alter the reproductive process in animals. We can choose genes to predetermine sex, physical characteristics, intelligence, and much more. And science is now upon the threshold of the next and most awesome development. We can create a clone. The process called cloning has a parallel. By taking a small cutting from a plant and replanting the cutting, a new plant will grow. It will be identical in every way to the original. Now, take a single living cell from a single living man Using biochemical genetic engineering, you can create an exact duplicate of that man. A living duplicate. Absolutely identical in every way. And he can be duplicated. And infinite copies. The technique is called cloning. The duplicated men are called the clones. Filmmakers International invites you to see a terrifying new motion picture, The Clones. It may seem like science fiction, but it is based in science fact. The Clones. Laboratory animals have already been cloned. Man is next. This film is that story. For they duplicated one man too many. They had to find him and kill him. The Clones. At a recent scientific symposium, United States Senator John Tunney of California voiced a warning about the dangers of genetic engineering. The cloning of frogs has already been successful. The technology for the cloning of mammals will be available within 5 years. Unless research is stopped, the technology for the cloning of human beings might be available within anything from 10 to 25 years. See The Clones. Powerful, exciting, terrifying. Because now it is science fiction. Soon, it will be science fact.
Dr. Stein would like to see you in his laboratory.
What brings you to California?
Well, I just arrived from New York. My fiancé was wounded in Vietnam, and the doctors there wrote and told me he was being transferred to the Veterans Hospital here. He was seriously wounded when a landmine went off under him. Eddie, this is Dr. Stein. The doctor I studied with when I was in school.
Now, tell me once again, Eddie, what do you feel?
That was my middle finger.
That's correct.
Dr. Stein, look at this.
last time we had the greatest discovery in scientific history. There's something more than just biology.
I'm sorry to disagree. Dealing with a killer is not only repugnant, it might also cause us complications.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Frederick! Answer me! Where are you? Frederick! Frederick!
An unusual love story between a pathetic cripple that has been cast out by society and a beautiful, dying young girl. A tragic, sentimental story in which romance sparks the most horrible tragedies.
You killed my friend. You killed my friend.
Are you crazy?
Killers!
She's been dead 2 weeks.
Where's the only friend I have? No, Goto! No, no, no!
Never before has a motion picture told such a story in which love and horror race hand in hand to their final consequences. Never has love been so terrifying. Never has horror been more romantic. Close your eyes tightly if you're unable to look at the terrifying scenes of this motion picture. Interpreted by Paul Naschy, Rosanna Yanni, Vic Winner, Alberto Dalbiz, and Maria Persci.
Oh, you sweet prince of the monkeys. I'm your slave, Goto, the most handsome of the humpback gorillas. Surrenders pleadingly to your beauty.
No, I won't let them die either. You're responsible for all this. You lied to Goto. I'm going to kill you!
Open, please. It's the police.
Come, go in there, shut the door, and don't make any noise.
Sleep, my friend, and rest. Goto will take care of you. But now, I must leave you for a moment. I have to deliver a bouquet of roses. Here, breathe their aroma, because it'll be the last smell of your life.
We have our new creature. And I, Dr. Orla, I am its creator.
How many persons, dead or alive, have entered into that tank only to serve your hallucinations of megalomania? I'm through to you here. I'm through to them.
We just discovered another crime. A student named Hans Berger is discovered strangled in his room. Out! Out!
Ripping suspense as false virtues lead to a flood of crime.
You haven't told us anything about your latest guest.
What can I tell you, Beatrice? You know all about it. I don't know how I put up with it. One must earn a living, otherwise one...
A candle for the devil. What nice sisters. Pleasant, hospitable. But underneath, full of hate for life. They can kill without pity.
Shameless hussy in my house.
What's wrong?
You have the cheek to ask. Get up. Give me that. Get out of here. This isn't a whorehouse.
Fascinating performances by Aurora Bautista and Esperanza Roy as the sisters.
A child needs good examples to follow. And you couldn't even give him a father.
Mad. Get out of the way. Give me my...
Wreaking vengeance in their house of terror. Directed by prize-winning Eugenio Martin. Starring Judy Geeson. With Victor Winner. A Candle for the Devil.
The owner? You? My name's Helen Miller. I called from Madrid to reserve a room for 3 days.
taken a long time getting here.
Wait. But don't look.
Horrible. It's the worst sin against God.
Never say that again.
I leave you.
What happens in this village will keep you on the edge of your seat. A Candle for the Devil. Coming to this theater. From the dark and mysterious Middle Ages, full of mystery and violence, there now comes to the screen, Fear Rises from the Tomb, a curse which would bring these people to the most terrifying situations. Fear Rises from the Tomb. With Emma Cohen, Paul Naschy, Vic Winner, Cristina Suriani, Betsabe Ruiz, and Helga Linné in the role of Maria. Fear rises from the tomb, with all the mystery and terror of medieval rites and witchcraft. The infernal powers of evil persecuting these defenseless beings. Only the talisman could free them from the spellbinding influence. Fear rises from the tomb. A terrifying experience. It will take you a long time to forget.
No! 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 Ah!
Fear Rises from the Tomb. A Pro Films production. Directed by Carlos Aurez.
7 moons have passed. Today we shall take them. I want, when the supreme day comes, that they are sufficiently prepared for the sacrifice.
Once in a lifetime, there comes a story so gripping, so vast, that only the motion picture screen can capture the full force of its emotion. And only a superstar could do justice to this theme.
Anybody there?
I'm here, the entertainment's arrived.
Oh dear. I've played empty houses before, but God blimey.
What hidden terrors lie in wait for this unsuspecting stranger?
Anyone in there? Oh dear.
What mysterious force has lured this man to this nightmare of a house?
Foster.
Hmm?
I need your help.
I understand, my dear.
Who is his oaf?
Mr. Twelvetree's is the great tragedian. He's here to provide her entertainment.
She lies. Where does she lie? In her grave. Hello. It's never gone that well before.
Damn moron.
Now, watch it, mate.
Man's a cretin.
That's better.
You've misunderstood.
Oh.
We were keeping it as a surprise for you.
The others are all mad, you know. Quite mad. Children, children, it is midnight.
God.
Round and bright. Children don't come in the nursery, for the dolls dance every night.
Take your hands off her.
No, no. I was just unbuttoning her frock. She's fainted.
I'm going to smash you to an inch of your life.
I was just giving her my little knell.
There comes a time when a man must turn and fight, and meet cold steel with shrewd cunning.
Ha-ha! Now I've got you, haven't I, Mr. Clever Dick?
You'll have to kill me to get them.
With the greatest of pleasure. Catch!
Mere courage is not enough.
This isn't going to be excruciating, is it? I mean, I don't mind agony, but I draw the line at excruciation.
What lies in wait, we cannot say.
If you slip now, all the diamonds in the world won't do you any good.
For there are some terrors which have no name.
Please make it a crusher, not a biter.
And all of them dwell in the house in Nightmare Park.
Ah, that'll teach you. You thought you were dealing with an idiot, didn't you? Ah!
Meet Vernon Potts. This is what they did to him. Stop! Watch him as he turns into a beast, too grotesque to believe, and terrorizes his teachers to death. See Vernon Potts turn on to become the demon of Horror High.
I make that out to be a laboratory beaker, Lieutenant.
We found it close to the coach's body.
The world's most evil teenage mind creates terror for the school that becomes known as Horror High. A distorted trip into the nightmare of death.
Well, you know how some drugs can change a person mentally? Well, I've been trying to prove that you can change them physically as well.
See the terror that stalks the hallowed halls of Horror High.
Vernon, where is Mr. Mumps?
He's dead. He was part of the experiment. That's why I've got to give it up.
You just turn on the light.
There's a maniac running loose around here, and two people dead already.
Guess you're gonna have to play with the big boys today, huh?
Give that back.
Give it back! Give it back!
Do you dare enroll in Horror High?
What the hell is that ungodly sound you're making?
See All-Pro John Nyland as another victim of Vernon's rage. See Horror High, opening soon in this area.
Horror High is a scream. Horror High is a blast.
Come face to face with your fears. Come face to face with tales that witness madness.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. I love that one.
You've tried everything you know how to keep them to yourself, but you still haven't made it, have you? You're threatened by a tiger.
Come face to face with terror beyond your wildest nightmares. Enter an asylum from which you may never escape. all your sanity behind. It can't help you now.
Mamalu!
Albert!
Quick, somebody get the fire brigade! Can destroy it. I will destroy it. And you.
Now do you believe it? Thank God you've seen it. It has to be seen to be believed.
Tales that witness madness.
Timmy!
It's enough to drive you out of your mind into your grave.
You are about to see previews from Hannah, Queen of the Vampires. Hannah is not just another little horror film. Hannah is bigger and has more horror. 700 years ago, Hannah, queen and wife of Louis, was buried alive, wearing $1 million worth of jewels. Can you dig it?
Uppers and downers and inners and outers until I was blown out, spaced out, beat up, shot up. And I tripped. And I ripped.
Come out of there, you neck sucker. Hannah, Queen of the Vampires. Hannah, Queen of the horror films.
My mind is gone. I want your blood. I want your blood. Kill me. Get out.
Hannah, Queen of the Vampires. Burn, Hannah. Burn.
Did you do what I told you to do? Yes. Come out and play now. They're gone.
I don't like the sunlight. Come in here to me.
Hannah, Queen of the Vampires.
Love Me Deadly. The motion picture that begins where The Exorcist left off. Beyond the horror of The Exorcist, deeper into the occult, the most shocking ordeal ever permitted on any screen. Witness the most shocking secret rites ever performed.
Don't cut me! Don't cut me! No!
Love Me Deadly. See beautiful Mary Wilcox, a creature possessed by demons, unable to escape her inevitable doom.
Love me deadly. Kiss me deadly.
The word is necrophilia. We're quite normal people, just with different passions.
I love you. I think you love me. But every time I touch you, you turn off. Now, what is it?
A beautiful child woman driven by uncontrollable passions to reject the love of a devoted husband. A woman cursed with a secret too terrible to reveal. Doomed to love only the dead. In this shocking film, you will witness the never-before-seen blood-curdling rites of the lovers of the dead.
Meet Elizabeth.
I'm interested in you.
I don't do this for nothing.
Her business is pleasure, until her date with the Picts.
Those people who came to see me this morning, they're interested in you.
Today she has a date from which there is no return.
Ever noticed that before?
Yes.
It's a Pix.
A Pix? What the hell's a Pix?
Police, open it up.
Please just help me. What's going on, Meg? I'm asking you simply to trust me and not to ask so many questions.
What's wrong?
Let me go.
There is no escape for Elizabeth. She has a date with the Pix. The Pix. Rated R.
Satan is coming on the devil's wedding night. Diabolic demons delirious with desire. Dark desire lures the village virgins to the castle of carnal craving. Tiptoe through terror while Satan sleeps. When the devil wakes, death rises. Legions of Lucifer unleashed. Death dwells in the domain of dark dreams. Prince of Darkness opens the gates of hell to a bevy of bewitched beauties. Wanton witches find satanic satisfaction in an unholy alliance of evil. See the sinister sisters of Satan sacrifice screaming virgins. Plunge into pagan passion. Penetrate the portal of mortal maids. Satan is coming on the devil's wedding night. Come along.
The sinful dwarf, a depraved psychotic misfit crazed by the charms of young girls and luring them from the city streets into a hellish snake pit.
My son will show you the room. Oh, Peter, I don't want to stay here. What do you think of that blonde girl?
The sinful dwarf, a tantalizing bride trapped in a web of terror.
Last night I heard noises.
Are you snoring?
No. And today, people have been walking in and out of that door at the end of the corridor.
Have you seen my wife?
She left. You wanted to see what was in here. Well, now's your chance.
I've got a new girl you might be interested in.
Watch out for it. The sinful dwarf. Admission restricted.
Encounter with the Unknown, narrated by Rod Serling, is one of those rare motion pictures that you will probably never forget.
Listen you well to my word. One by land, two by sky. Look to the heptagon, for it is there. 7 times around go the 3 of you. And may your reward be just and true.
What could a completely normal man face in the depths of a hollow pit that could drive him insane? Can a young woman return from death to haunt her parents for decades? If you like the truly mysterious, be sure to see Encounter with the Unknown, a really remarkable film that brings you some true, bizarre, and inexplicable events. an exciting, mysterious movie narrated by Rod Serling. Encounter with the Unknown, a picture you don't want to miss.
The Hanging Woman. What strange secret sealed her tragic fate? Who is this fiendish, demented creature that can only love the dead ones? Who is the twisted mind that murders and maims?
You are the only ones I love.
Danger lurks everywhere, every moment. Still warm and glowing, splattered blood stains the cold walls of this macabre tomb. Who is the warped brain that desecrates the coffins?
My uncle is alive. If you don't believe me, why don't you go and look in his tomb? Because it's empty, I tell you.
That's exactly what we intend to do. And you, sir, will have to answer
So
for your
what?
conduct.
So what? You can come down now. Nadia!
What mysterious power transforms the corpses to live again, to hunt and to slaughter? The Hanging Woman. A cruel drama of terror and suspense. You will cringe with fear as these shrouded, decaying bodies seek to avenge their death on the innocent ones. A shocking, shivering, shattering experience that you will never, ever forget. The Hanging Woman, an international artist release.
These women have just seen their doctor, Dr. Death. He stalks the city through the dark of night.
I think somebody's coming toward my apartment.
He has powers more terrible than any man who ever lived. Don't answer your doorbell.
What do you want?
It may be Dr. Death, making a house call. Rated R.
Arnold, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do. Arnold is dead and a newlywed. Don't miss his honeymoon.
Love has found a way on this our wedding day. Arnold, and in a moment now we will take our vow. Arnold, darling Arnold, tender Arnold. How do I love thee? Just you wait and see. Let me count the ways through the nights and days. Arnold, you and me, darling Arnold. Warm, sweet Arnold.
Arnold, rated PG.
Rise up. Rise up. And hold this mortal woman in your icy talons.
Alabama's ghost.
Chick's been hurt. Get that thing out of here.
Alabama's ghost. A satanic journey into the depths of black magic. The summit of human effort. King of the cosmos. Introducing the world's greatest magician. Alabama, King of the cosmos.